You are looking live at a daily chart of the Nasdaq, which was up 26 points today, or 0.14%. You can see the volume was 5% below the average daily volume and much lower than the volume from the options expiration on Friday. But nevertheless, a good day for the Nasdaq, still hovering around that 18,000 area. Like to see it trade above the 18,017 and close above there and set its sights on the 18,671, the high it made before correcting. There's a 16% correction there from July 11th, to August 5th. That's a nice quick 3-week 16% correction. So it's rallied back above its moving averages. You can see it, the low of the session is below the 21. You can see the 10, which is the green line, and the 21 are above the 50 here and have been for a few sessions. It's 8 sessions in a row where the low of the session has been below the 21. So it's looking much, much better. And even if it just trades sideways around 18,000, that's a real positive for the Nasdaq. It doesn't have to rip higher right away, but we want it to rip higher soon. All right, the Nasdaq is looking much better, but the leading index is the Dow Jones. Why? Well, because it keeps making new highs. 42,190 today. It closed at 42,124. It was up 61 points, or 0.15%. Once again, the volume was below the 50-day average, 8% below, and far below the Friday session, which saw the options expiration. SPY looking good here. Made a new high last Thursday, pulled back and just sideways today. That looks good as well. And if this is a stock, you'd say 560, 516. I'm all in. All right, and then the Russell, which was supposed to be the big winner from the 50 basis point rate cut, and now it went up on Thursday, but Friday and today, Monday, it stalled a little bit. So it's kind of a sleepy Monday. I mean, if I show you like a 5-minute chart of these things, IWM just sold off a little bit. It just went sideways. I mean, the patient was asleep today, not dead. It was just asleep. This is the SPY opened up and just kind of went sideways all day. I mean, so it was a really sleepy tape, and that's okay. Like I said, if the Nasdaq wants to just go sideways for a few sessions, there it is. I mean, you're looking at just sideways action there on your 5-minute chart. So no great shakes. That's okay. We'll take it. Digesting some of these big gains here. Anyway, I'm going to move on to stocks because I like to, I buy and sell, trade stocks. I don't usually fool around with the indexes, but I like to have the tailwinds of the index at my back when you're trading these stocks. This is Apple. It was down today. The iPhone 16 went on sale, and there's going to be conflicting reports here because nobody knows anything. So they're just going to, these analysts are going to come out and say it's weak, demand, or, others will come out and say there's strong demand, but you're going to have to wait till they report their quarterly earnings report here at the end of October. So just got to be patient with Apple. It looks fine though, above its moving averages. And Microsoft, this looks a lot better now. It undercut the 200, then rallied through the 200 and the 50. In the last couple of sessions, it's pulled back. Looks like it's about it. It's like a 80 EMA. I'm seeing a lot of stocks do that. They rally up and now they've pulled back, not quite to their 10, but about to the 8 here. So the 10 is 429. This isn't closed at 433. So yeah, just a tick above the 10. Microsoft looks pretty good though. Meta Platforms is one that's looking good. I was going to put this one on our ready list today, but I didn't. I don't know. And then I got an upgrade, but that's okay. I want to keep it kind of tight little ready list. I don't want too many stocks on there, but I had about 50 stocks. The market looks good. A lot of these leading stocks look fantastic. This one's starting to push away from its base, and I'm not going to chase it here. So just acknowledging strength here with Meta Platforms. Tesla looks really good right now. Yeah, this is just forming this little base here. That 228 was an area of interest. Now it's rallied up to 250 and closed there today. I believe it closed near the high of the daily range. 100%, yeah, right at the high, and then you can see the RS line here trending higher as well. So Tesla looks really good. What other ones do we have in this group? Oh, Amazon. Amazon, I missed last week. I mean, it traded above its downtrend line. There was another buy here at 182. And then you could actually say like an early entry still, I believe, like 190. And it's just trading a tick above that. The standard is 201.20. But yeah, Amazon looking really good as it rallies through its moving averages, and you can see the moving averages are trending higher. The 10 is stacked above the 21, which is above the 50. So that one looks really good. And then I'm going to go to NVIDIA, the semiconductor space. Yeah, just flat on the session, trading sideways. This is just marking time, but there are some semiconductor names that I like that look pretty good to me. This is PI. I know I should have had this last week. I didn't, so I'm not going to chase it. Just acknowledging strength here. Had that, standard buy area there at the 181 and missed it. So, just like Mick Jagger says, they come and go like streetcars. So I'll wait for the next one to come by. The next bus, I'll hop on the next bus. And I missed the pie. And I don't like pie. A lot of people like pie, but sweets are not good for you. All right, here's our holdings. Nice cup with handle here. Pattern rec is picking that up. Calling it a stage 2 base at 149 buy. I would get in there before that. In fact, I would probably like to check out what the high was last week. And if it trades above that, then it could be go time 147. Yeah. So I'm definitely watching ARM. Might add it this week, especially if it pulls back to that 10. So anyway, that one looks pretty good. Broadcom, this one looks good as well. Just had this low, of course, on the 5th, rallied up, and then I think that was the 5th. It doesn't matter. Anyway, it just undercut the 50 and rallied back through. Still, I like this one. I should put it on about 172.42, and it closed just a tick above it today. So Broadcom looks good to me as well. You could say it broke above that downtrend line last week. So another one that I'm watching, that one in ARM could definitely appear in the ready list real quick. Just acknowledging strength here. Of course, the rumors are that Intel is going to be bought, and Apollo wants them, and Qualcomm wants them. But I don't see how anybody could want Intel. They're losing money. It's just not a it's not a good proposition here. I don't believe. They do pay a nice dividend. Oh no, they don't pay a dividend anymore. How about that? They used to. I don't know why they're in the Dow Jones 500, Dow Jones 30 stocks here. Intel's been a dog for a long time, getting their lunch eaten. Look at all those red numbers. My goodness, no growth at all for Intel. Actually, they're not losing money. They have decent cash flow, and what 4% return on equity. But yeah, who wants that? And I don't think Qualcomm wants that. They don't want that headache. Qualcomm looks like it's got its own problems. Anyway, there's not a lot of stocks in the semiconductor group that I really like. I showed you a couple that I did, and one that's piquing my interest. This is POET. These guys announced a couple of deals in recent weeks. Mitsubishi on Thursday or Friday of last week, and it's been responding well. You can see the big volume today. That kind of volume, that kind of move, that has my attention. You take a look at the weekly, you can see it was $12 stock not all that long ago. Before the bear market, certainly, and then it sold up. But now it's, probably a different company. I got to look into it a little more. Certainly with the Mitsubishi contract, it caught some people's interest. Probably some short covering there. And I normally don't cover $4 stocks, but that one's not going up on Wall Street bets or Reddit rumors. I think it just had a deal with Mitsubishi, and investors are buying the stock. So, all right, I'm going to move on. Today was a day for defense. I showed you the sleepy tape. These stocks are making new highs once again. This is Lockheed Martin, and you can see that 578 area above that. It's an area of interest for sure. You can see the big volume on Friday, options expiration. But Lockheed Martin looking good. Northrop Grumman. I could go through a lot of these. Northrop made a new high today. Howmet And I'm gonna go through these quickly. Just made a new high, because I'm not gonna buy these. They're a little extended, and just defense is not, I don't know. I shouldn't say that because I bought GE and there's a couple names that I like, but this is Curtis Wright. This one's going parabolic, and you can see it broke out to a new high of 318, pulled back to its 50, found support, ripped through its moving averages. So a lot of these defense names are acting really well. And this is a Heiko. They reported earnings pulled back to 230, which is the 50 after earnings a couple weeks ago, and now it's just ripping the new high. So that was the shakeout, shook some people out, and I know some people who own this, and they just said, "Yeah, I wanted to sell it, but I held on." And they're thankful that they did. So around earnings, you get some really weird moves. And I did mention General Electric. This one broke out of its base at 177, and now it's just trading higher and above its 10 EMA. That thing looks fantastic. Nice strong stock. So it finally broke out. It went sideways for a long, long time, like since April, and now it's starting to move higher. So congrats to GE. That one looks good. Speaking of GE, I'm going to switch gears now and go to the alternative energy, the electric utility power companies, because these things are just taking off, and there's a reason for that. Constellation made that deal with Microsoft last week, firing up 3 Mile Island. And it really got investors. I mean, you could see by the volume coming in on some of these stocks that I'm going to get to here in a minute, that they're really cheering on and applauding this deal with Microsoft and Constellation. But GEV broke out a long time ago, back about 185 here, and it's just been trending higher. A little extended, actually quite a bit extended from its moving averages right there at 251. I think I'd wait for a pullback. It's 8.5% above its 10. So maybe it'll form a base here, or a 3 weeks tight or something. You can get around 250. We'll see what happens, but they're awfully strong stocks. GEV is the spinoff from GE and just doing really, really well. Power, Quanta Services, a stock I really, really like. Steady Eddie grower, just form this base here, and it's been a long time, since it's been consolidating in this little, I guess you'd call it a Darvish type box base. And then what happened is it broke out last week and then continued today, up $5 or nearly 2%. So that's a nice move out of this little box area. So maybe it'll do something like this. And when it broke out of this box, it ran and went from 219 to 286. So maybe have another run in it. This is a later stage base. So you got to always be mindful that they're more prone to fail. But so far, Quanta Services looks like it wants to push away from that base. And we just have to take it one day at a time. STRL is another one of these, building heavy construction stock. This one broke out of that paint by numbers 137, ran up to 150 last week. And then it was just kind of flat today, up 0.5%. I mean, you'll always take a 0.5% gain. It beats a 0.5% loss, but it's getting extended from its 10 EMA as well here. So maybe it'll allow those moving averages to catch up, but that's a nice move off the bottom, straight up from the bottom, 105 to 150. Yeah, 105 to 150 from what, September 4th? Wow, that's a short time period. So maybe, when they run up like that, they usually, see some profit taking and do a little something like that. So maybe you can get it at 140 and have the 21 catch up. But anyway, I like that one as well. What's another one in this group? TLN. I think this one made a new high, then pulled back today. That's a bearish engulfing bar there. We'll see. We'll keep that one monitored. What was the high on TLN today? Oh, wow, it's got a long way to go. 189.61. So that's quite a reversal here. Let's take a look at that on the 5-minute chart. Yeah, ooh, new high at the open. That's why you don't chase these Monday morning opens. Wow. So you bought at 189 chasing the stock, and then you probably sold it here. Bottom tick at 175. Nice trade. And then it just went sideways. Anyway, it's extended. So, don't be chasing stuff like that. They'll come back. They always come back to the moving averages. So, okay, the one that I really like, had on our regular list, and I was really contemplating on putting it on again because it's got this buy point here. I don't think I put it on this week. I don't think I did. I don't have my list in front of me because it's extended from its moving average, and I think it's going to have to you know, settle down and come back to, what was it, 111.63? Yeah, probably. It filled its morning gap here, but it's got another gap right here. So what is that, 95? Who knows? Maybe to come down, fill this gap, kiss the moving average. So definitely one to watch, but it's too hot right now for me to, you know, take on anything like that. I did mention Constellation deal with Microsoft. Blasted higher on that news. What was that, 22% move on Friday, then followed up with a $2 move, or nearly 1% today. Super strong stock. So this is probably the strongest of all of them. This one in GEV. It's an alternative energy play with the nuclear power component. All right. Oh, I got a couple more here, man. I think I could go through these all day. They look really nice. This is one of my favorite groups right now. I'm going to get to this here in a little bit. At the end of the program here today. This is NRG right there at 87.58. You know, buy point. You could have got in earlier at 85. 38. I like that one. And NEE, another. We had this one on our radar list around 80. Now it's trading at 84. So it's moving nicely, trending with its moving averages, finding support at 21. That's NEE. Next Era Energy. And the last, no, not the last one. I got two more. New Scale Power. This one sold off. You know, it ran up to 1691, sold off, undercut all of its moving averages, and now traded above. And you can see today just had an inside day, waiting for these moving averages to catch up, cross through the 50s. So I'm got my eye on that one. And of course, Powell Industries with Jerome Powell lowering rates last week. This one was on my list with the, you call it 200. I thought I'd really have trouble with the 200, you know, the Livermore number, but it said nope, going right through it. So we'll see if it runs into some resistance and pulls back. Man, look at these big volume bars here. So that's not Aunt Sally buying that stock. All right, I'm going to move on from the power group. I'm not going to do the drugs today. The drugs are one of the weakest groups. Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk is, you know, the CEO's got to go meet with Bernie Sanders tomorrow. So these, yeah, they were just out of favor today. Even the great ADMA was down today a little bit. Oh, nope, I spoke too soon. It closed up 5%, 5 cents, excuse me. So that's got to be 85% of its daily range. Just a nice, looks like a tight little inside day. It was down all day. What happened here? Somebody bought it at the end. Yeah, it just closed higher. So nice high volume close for ADMA. So we'll be watching that one tomorrow. And then, of course, Lilly is the other big powerhouse, just trading sideways. But yeah, they're going to get, Sanders says they're charging too much for drugs. So we'll see. It's just a quid pro quo. And Novo will give them a little something to, you know, cheer about. And then I think they'll give Novo what they want with a little cash on the side, I'm sure. Anyway, I'm going to move on to the Sienna got an upgrade this morning, and it's always interesting to me how stocks will respond to upgrades. Sometimes the stock gets upgraded and goes nowhere. Some stocks get downgraded and just plummet like 10, 15%. And sometimes they get downgraded and then go higher. So it's always interesting to me. A stock gets downgraded or upgraded, how they react. Sienna was upgraded today, gapped higher, closed, you know, at 80% of the daily range. That's a nice move, 5% move for Sienna. This Telecom fiber optic, yeah, just gapped higher and went sideways all day. So some buyers in there. A couple other stocks, you know, in this same type of group, the telecom infrastructure. This is UI, Ubiquity. Man, this thing, you can see the #1 ranked group, and they're a powerhouse, man. This one is really doing well. And you can see it broke out of that stage 1 base and is just climbing. So just acknowledging strength there. I don't own it. I don't, you know, just acknowledging strength. That's all. This is LITE. This is a telecom fiber optic. I'm just pointing this out that it's near a buy area. I don't like the growth profile at all, but just acknowledging technically it looks pretty good. And then DY, I believe, DICOM, telecom infrastructure in that #1 group too. And this one, 195, 196. I kind of like it there. And if it can break above 200, I like it even more. It could stay above 200. So this is DY. And I kind of like this little pattern here. short little base, but like I said, things are happening a lot faster these days, so you don't have to wait, 6 months for a base. All right, let's move on to the software names. Some software names are doing well, some are not. It's hit and miss. Duolingo obviously doing well, making new highs. Wow, it's up to 270 now, huh? Very nice. Spotify, trying to break out of this base. I had this on the ready list, and it looked like it wanted to move today, and just pull back. It's the stock gives me heartburn. Had the big move last week, and now it's doing fine though. It looks fine, and it's near buy point. Little extended from its moving averages there, 5.4% above the 10, but still looking really good. ZETA, ZETA, yeah, just making new highs, surfing its moving averages. That's your Kelly Slater stock in the software group. PEGA, PEGA, PEGA Systems is a computer software financial stock. You can see the group, top 10 group, consolidating within a base. This is a nice move today, nearly 3%. So PEGA looks good. INTA, another one of these computer software financial, broke out last week and now ripping higher and just looks like a really strong stock that wants higher prices. CORZ. This is one that I did put on the ready list, and I didn't buy it, but it made a nice move today, 4.2%, still actionable there at the paint by numbers, $12.25. So I kind of like that one. Of course, Palantir. Palantir is a leader. What Dan Ives, our friend Dan Ives, calls it the Messi of AI software. And so that looks super nice. So Palantir making new highs. It went into the S&P 500 today, and you could see on Friday the options expiration had massive volume. So that's it for the software names. I got to go to the retail groups, and I'm just going to throw them all together. The retail internet, retail restaurants, the retail apparel. And this is SE making a nice strong move today, nearly 6%. Once again, above that 83 area, broke out of that little box. So, yeah, strong stock. SE, did I buy it? Nope, I don't own it, but just acknowledging strength. Wingstop had this one on the ready list last week. I don't know if it was 387 or 409. Still have it on. Still got that paint by numbers 431. So I think I wouldn't wait for that. It's getting a little extended from the moving averages, but it's trending in the right direction. So it's another stock that I like. Sweet Green, SG. Another one of the retail restaurant stocks that I like. A slight little pullback today, 3%. This one is getting a little extended from its MAs, but looks pretty good. And I'm watching that one. Another one that I had was CAVA. CAVA, CAVA. It made a new high, looked like it wanted to rip higher and then pull back, which is fine. It's 3.5% above its 10 EMA, and it's just surfing its moving averages here. So yeah, I do like that above 128.18, and it closed above that today, and it's probably going to shake you around a little bit here. It's not going to make it easy for you. Probably come back to the green line there, which is about 125. But if you look at it on the daily chart, yeah, there's your morning rip, the gap, and then the crap, and then kind of a nothing day, Like I said, they're not going to make it easy on you. It's not just going to rip, straight up to 150. So have a little patience with that. It looks fine. What was the other one here in the group? Oh, EAT. This is Brinker, and this has got that cup with handle just moving higher, and also DRI Horton. Brinker was the Maggiano's. This is DR Horton, the Olive Garden, Gap Tire, and out of this cup with handle pattern, that one looks good as well. Oh, Sprouts Farmers Market, kind of a food grocery stock, and I kind of like that one, 103.80. It's been consolidating in this little box once again, and trying to break out of it. So I kind of like that one. Wow, it was up 3% today, so that's a nice move. Yeah, Sprouts Farmers Market is on the move. It's kind of hard to chase it, after that kind of a move. How far above the 10 is it? Yeah, I was a little hesitant to put this one on, but yeah, it's only 3.9% above the 10, so maybe it'll pull back a little bit and give you a chance. All right, let me see. Oh, OLLI. This is one of those retail discount stores. This one looks good above 100. I like it. Below it, I don't. But that one looks pretty good. What else do I have? Oh man, I got a lot of stuff here. TPR is the Tapestries, trying to buy Michael Kors. Nice bounce off its moving average. Crocs is another one that I'm kind of liking here. If it can trade above this downtrending line, Crocs is trading at about 2 times current sales. So if it could trade above that, I don't know, we call it 147 area. Yeah, I'm interested. I'm actually gonna be honest with you. I'm a buyer of Crocs above that level. And it's an inexpensive stock. Would like to see more growth, but they're gonna report on Halloween, so it's gonna be a trick or a treat for Mr. Crocs. I'm gonna move on. That's enough retail. I've got to go to the oil and gas space because I'm trying to be flexible. I'm trying to work on myself, trying to stay open-minded. KGS is one that, undercut the 50 and has rallied right through it. Now it's near this old buy point, and I keep showing you this one every day, but I never buy it. But I like it. That's why I keep showing it. But yeah, but I haven't bought it just for full transparency, but I do like KGS. I like any stock near highs pretty much. This is Landbridge. You can see it's a recent IPO. Looked like it was mispriced or something down here. What was it? $17. Traded up to 43. So yeah, some big buyers in here. Now it pulled back and showing strength once again. So I like that technically. What are some of the other ones? CNX is another one of these oil and gas exploration stocks. My goodness. And I think bounced off its 50. Made a new high today and just pulled back 7 cents. That one looks good. Chesapeake. Just acknowledging, Chesapeake made that low at 69 there, and well, stocks will often do. They made the low at 69, ran up, and then retested that low, and then now ripped higher. And since I mentioned that, it reminds me of Nova. Somebody contacted me today and said Nova made that low at 118, and it does look broken, and it looks like it's going to pull back. And I'm interested in that 118 area once all the shenanigans get out of the way. Maybe it'll, trade sideways flat, but I'm always interested in stocks we know that, are strong stocks that are, have a great growth profile and have shown for years and years and years a history of steady performance. So anyway, I just want to point out the stocks often do come back and retest their lows like Chesapeake did. All right, some other ones that I like in this group, CTRA, which is Coterra Energy. This one made a low. And then trying to rally through its moving averages. So I'm just trying to keep an open mind there at 24.62. And you never know when the oil and gas stocks start pumping again, pumping oil. I mean, pumping dollars, not oil. Excuse me. 2066, an area of interest here, and EE traded above it today. So I'm just actually kind of broke out from that area today. Little extended, but it's just still that I'm watching in the oil and gas space. And the last group that I'm going to cover are the miners. Cameco, this one went up on that news from the 3 Mile Island, the nuclear reactor. But this one here traded at 35, came down and retested that low and just ripped right through its moving average today. Traded through its 200, so that's definitely a strong stock and a strong move. So we'll see where it goes from here. SCCO is another one. Man, I'm kicking myself. Once again, made a low, kind of retested that low and rallied through. I wanted to get this one below 100, and I don't know. I didn't pull the trigger. Traded above its downtrending line, last week. So I just screwed that one up. It's not too late to buy it. I mean, 107.80 looks like a good area too. So just one that I'm watching here in this group. If I'm going to buy a miner, I want to buy, one of the stronger ones with the growth profile. Freeport-McMoRan, another one, made that low, retested the low. That kind of tells me that I'm not a bottom fisher, but it kind of tells me that that bottom's in. Maybe 46.01, an area of interest. On the miners, AGI, this is another miner making new highs today. So that one looks good. And then gold. Gold has been rallying, and the ticker symbol gold pulled back to the 10 today. So anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Except for at mcstockcharts.com, we got to honor the great Steve Jobs. I have one more thing. I just wanted to pull this up because on the weekends I provide information on the stocks that and the groups that have changed, the most year to date. And this one stopped working for me now. Okay, great. So, okay, so that's fine. I just wanted to point out that on the weekends I show you the ones that appreciated the most, and then show you the stocks like NVIDIA and MicroStrategy and Carpenter, and SMCI was there at the beginning of the year, it rallied like 300%, then it failed. So that is the stocks that I show you on the weekends, but I think I'm going to start including, this is how Market Surge ranks them. And so what I look for on the weekends and the rankings, and I don't post them, but I probably should now, is rankings. And I look for stocks or groups, excuse me, that have jumped a lot, that have leading stocks with big market caps. This is media newspapers that went from 23 to 10. Not an area of, not a lot of stocks, and it's kind of concentrated. This is the real estate group, 33 to 13. They've been really hot, but the one that I wanted to show is the building heavy construction. This one jumped from 36 last week to the top 2018. So let's take a look at that group if Market Surge is going to cooperate here. So as you can see, the group here itself, G1621, and it's been on fire. It pulled back, with the market to its moving average, and has now been rallying. So what I do is I look for the stocks in the group, and these should be some familiar names. These are the top stocks in the group, PWR, ACOM. Let me go here to the stocks in the group. The largest groups got it by market cap here is Quanta. And then you got Jacob Solutions, and you got Floor. And here's Sterling at 4.5, Road 3.7, GVA. And I've been showing you these for the last couple of weeks. Why? Well, because they've been, really strong stocks. So we just go to power. I think I showed you that one earlier. And GVA, this one's by a buy point, GVA. Another one in this group, and you can see why the group has jumped from 36 to 18. So, what I want is something like power. Okay, the group is strong, the stock is strong, and it's near a buy point. It's a little extended from its moving averages, but that's what I want. I don't want to buy something that's just gone ballistic. And yeah, like this is a little too crazy here. But you can see why the group has jumped so much and rallied. Road's another one. I've looked at Jacobs for a while. Jacob looks pretty good though. And so that's just, when I look at stuff on the weekend, that's part of my routine to look at the group. And Market Surge is going to make me go back to the group. The building heavy construction group. Look at the stocks in here. There's quite a few of them to choose from. And also I like, the market cap to be a little bit, PRIM Primoris, which has been a very good stock, is 3.1 billion market cap, and that's it's about as small as I want to get on something like this. Let's take a look at a couple of these other ones here, including ACM. This has got a good size market cap, and once again near a moving average, excuse me, near a buy point, kind of extended from a moving average, but there you can see 98.72, so above 100, 102.20, that's a good area, I think. Below it, I don't like it. MTZ, which is what, Mastech. This one's rallied through its moving averages here, and you can see why the group's so strong. So anyway, there's a lot of groups, 197. I look for the ones that jump maybe from 70 to 50 or from 50 to 30, making those leaps and nearby points. So it's just kind of a weekend routine. I just wanted to share that because somebody asked me today. So yeah, this is a double bottom here on floor. So typically, I hope Market Surge is going to let me do it. I show you the year to date. Let me do this. Okay, yeah, so the year-to-date change is what I show, and these guys had a stock split, and these guys have two stocks, so I don't include stuff like that. The retail shoe group had a stock split. I think there was a glitch on that over the weekend. So anyway, stocks with, I mean, groups with, just 6 stocks that are small market caps, I don't include. So I put medical hospital as your first group, and that's really ranked 11, okay? But it's the best performer out of a legitimate group. This food and dairy has 2 stocks, so, and the oil and gas had a stock split, I explained that. And there's, Steel's group, Carpenter's a good leader in that one, and retail, I went over these over the weekend. NVIDIA's the leader of that group, and Broadcom. And so I just wanted to share with you that I'm gonna start including not only the change, year-to-date change, the best performers, but the top ranked stocks. So it makes a difference if they allow me to do this. And so there you go. Anyway, that's it for me. And at mcstockcharts.com, we never give up. Kind of a slow Monday, but I think things will pick up this week. And at mcstockcharts.com, we never give up.